Hey guys, just got done with like a 3-mile jog and I just wanted to talk to you guys today. You know, obviously I saw the news about Jon Jones. You know, he got tested positive supposedly for, you know, anabolic steroids, and I just want to talk about this because there's a big thing. Everybody's giving him a lot of judgment, and let me tell you something right now, really quick. Majority of people in the UFC are on steroids. A good percentage of high-ranked basketball people are on steroids. A lot with a capital A of cyclists are on steroids. Steroids are a part of professional sports. A lot of people don't want to hear this. It's something like, not everyone, and okay, yeah, not everyone. A lot of the pack runners, the people like the really good players in the NBA that are getting like 15 points a game, yeah, they could be on steroids, who knows? But a lot of those guys, yeah, those aren't the guys that are on steroids. But you got a guy averaging, you know, I'm not saying Russell Westbrook would be on steroids, but you have a guy like, for instance, Russell Westbrook, that is that freaky athletically and is that unbelievably dominant. Honestly, you have a professional athlete. You don't think that these guys ever take steroids? You're an idiot. If you don't think Michael Jordan's entire career, if you think that Michael Jordan never took steroids, you're a fucking idiot. And I'm not trying to judge you, it's just a fact that you're an idiot. There's a scientific fact, if they broke it down chemically, that says E equals you're a fucking retard if you think that Michael Jordan was never on steroids. You don't think LeBron James has ever fucking taken steroids? You're a dumb son of a bitch. It's okay, you know, we're not all born with intelligence, but you're fucking stupid. You know what I mean? That's what it is. So everybody will go off on Jon Jones. When you look at a guy like Lance Armstrong, dude, Lance Armstrong took steroids, and everybody else that was at the top level was taking steroids. So you strip him of the fucking six championships he already had. Daniel Cormier wouldn't beat Jon Jones if Jon Jones wasn't on steroids. I believe that Daniel Cormier has never touched steroids in his entire career. He just doesn't seem like the kind of guy. You never know though, but you just never know. But Jon Jones would beat him even without steroids. It's complete bullshit. He's 10 times better of a fighter, and people are like, you gotta strip him. Daniel Cormier's #1 now. Like, dude, Daniel Cormier, even if Daniel Cormier was on steroids and Jon Jones wasn't, Jon Jones would still fuck up Daniel Cormier. And that's like, if you're being honest and you're not lying, you know exactly what I'm saying right now is true. You know it. Anyone who's been following the sport, I've been following the sport my entire life. If you've watched it since you were a little kid, you know exactly what I'm saying. You'd fuck him up any day. Dude, Jon Jones is just at a different level, and they'll say Daniel Cormier's the real champion. Dude, everyone's on. You don't realize this. You realize 85% of the roster, this is coming out of my ass, but I guarantee it's correct. 85% of the roster is on steroids. Okay? Let's say Anderson the fucking Spider Silva, one of the greatest fucking UFC fighters of all time, one of the top 3 in my opinion. We're talking about a warrior with true heart, a respectful, dignified individual, you know, got heart, passion towards what he does. You're gonna tell me that because he took steroids, he's not one of the best? Even if he wasn't on steroids, he'd still fucking destroy everybody. And the other guys that he's facing are on fucking steroids. They're all on steroids. There's only a very small percentage. Maybe the Diaz brothers are on steroids. That's about it. The Diaz brothers, those are probably the only guys that, if you realistically think about it, aren't fucking juicing in the UFC. Who else? Maybe Kevin Lee. There's not many guys, you know? Like, so everybody will put judgment on him. Now, I want to say this, though. Even at the end of the day, Jon Jones is the best UFC fighter in the world right now. You can pretend. We can pretend all day. That's great. We can get out a doll and dance around and, you know, play with our fucking pussies. But at the end of the day, Jon Jones is the fucking best. You can say, what are you gonna deny? At the end of the day, steroids or no steroids, he's the best. Now, I will say this though. Jon Jones fucked up. He didn't need, I don't think with that much skill, because you ever seen how he blew up from 2011 when he was fighting, you know, Lyoto Machida and all those guys? He blew the fuck up after that, you know, when he was fighting like Shogun. Then he went over and he just blew the fuck up in the last couple of years because he was powerlifting, but on top of that, he was taking gear. He just started taking gear in the last few years. Yeah, he may have been taking some EPAs, some EPOs, I meant to say. He may have been taking a little bit of EPO, but he never was taking the steroids that he's taking now. He's using like muscle building anabolics now. He was using about maybe EPOs for endurance, which pretty much, let me tell you, EPOs in combat sports, everybody fucking takes them. I'm sorry, but like I would say 90% of the roster. If you're just talking about EPOs, probably 90% of I would say 9 out of every 10 fighters are taking EPOs. But they're lying about it because they don't want to hurt their personification. They don't want to hurt their contract deals and their endorsements. You have to understand, steroids are a part of sports, guys. Steroids are a part of sports. Is John Jones scum because he did that? No. But at the end of the day, there's the conversation that he fucked up big. And the reason he fucked up big is because he didn't need steroids to beat Daniel Cormier. He's a fucking elite level athlete. He doesn't even need that much muscle, the muscle that he put on. He doesn't need that. He could do it naturally, and he'd still be a bad motherfucker. He fucked up bad. At the end of the day, and it's just a reality, John Jones fucked up big time. He ruined his career. He ruined his legacy. It's not even about the money, guys. It's deeper than the money when you talk about sports like this. His legacy 100 years from now, when people look on like Wikipedia 2.90, when they look on that shit, they're gonna go John Jones, steroid usage, and they're gonna be like, oh, that motherfucker was a cheater. And that's what his legacy is gonna be. No matter how much money he makes, no matter what happens, this motherfucker fucked himself. He fucked himself. His legacy is ruined. Cocaine and that. It's gonna be like when you think of Jack Johnson, boxer, you think of one of the first black African-American heavyweight champion. But at the end of the day, we all know that Sam Langford, that Jack Johnson, in certain ways, was a pussy because he didn't want to fight another African-American, which was Sam Langford, because he knew Sam Langford would fuck him up. And he used the excuse that there wouldn't be financial benefit because 2 African-Americans would be fighting, when in reality, a bunch of racists would have loved to see that. The only reason he was saying that was because he was scared of Sam Langford, who beat him prior to that in a 26-round bout, so in the early 1900s. For the African American Championship. So you guys have to understand that at the end of the day, his legacy is tarnished. Like, at the end of the day, we know Jack Johnson was unbelievable. Jack Johnson, strong guy, defensive genius for that day and age. But at the end of the day, what is his legacy when you think of Sam Langford? He was scared of Sam Langford. He wanted to be the only African American loved. But anyways, I'll see you guys. Subscribe down below. But this is the truth is, everybody's on steroids and that. Subscribe down below. Jake Vlogs. Get back at you guys.